Hey, nowadays I'm too cool for a girl.
Yo, what's going on guys? TGK Media here, back with another video. I'm going to be doing a little zoom through tutorial, which you can see in like Little Sky's videos and like Rich the Kid. It's in a couple videos and it's quite a simple effect. It looks really good and I'm just going to show you how to do it step by step. So if you find these tutorial videos helpful, make sure you click like, subscribe and press the little notification bell because it helps me out, gets more views. And yeah, so what I've got here is two clips from the same video, but obviously if it's yours, you're going to have separate clips from your videos that you're making. But I've just used Little Sky's nowadays good video from Lyrical Lemonades, Cole Bennett. So what you want to do for this effect is you want to find a clip that either has a rectangular or a circle item in it. You don't have to, but it makes it easier. So for this, I'm going to literally be zooming through the sun. And so what you want to do is to go to the last frame of the first video. So it's a bit like the last tutorial. You want to go to the last frame of it and find the bit that you want to be zooming through. So for the first bit of this tutorial, you're going to need a plugin called Saber, which is completely free, which is really helpful. And I'm going to be showing you how to apply it to the video. So all you need to do is download it. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. Go and download that and then you can follow the tutorial. It's really easy, simple to download, and it's really easy to add on your video. So make sure you go and download that first. It's free, doesn't take up much space, and yeah, you can start following the tutorial. So what you want to do is make sure on the last frame, you want to select this, the little camera icon, which is export frame. You want to name it zoom. Make sure import to project is selected, and then click OK. And it should appear down here. So as you can see, the frame is exported down here. So what you want to do is drag that onto your timeline. This is very similar to the last tutorial. So if you haven't seen that, go and have a look at that. That's another easy tutorial, but it's very similar to this one. And then what you want to do is shorten it down a bit. It's about there. Make sure this clip is there. And that's where it's going to zoom through. So you can see it stops, and that's where it's going to zoom through the sun into this second clip down here. So what you want to do is make sure it's completely halfway between the two clips. If you see where the split is, that's where you want it on the other clip. So it's halfway. So what you want to do is select the clip here and replace it with After Effects. Right, so now once you're on After Effects, you want to make sure you're saving it into a secure place so it doesn't go offline, which is a problem that I used to have all the time before. I wasn't saving stuff correctly. So what I did, I have this on a hard drive, I put it as a personal project, fly through tutorial, and I put it as save. So you make sure it's in a secure place so you know where it is and save it correctly. You have to be organized as possible when you're doing these types of projects. So I'm going to put it as zoom again. Right, so now once you're on here, you should by now have the Saber effect installed. So you want to type in Saber in the effects panel and make sure you've got it. That just make sure you've got it. So as you can see, I've installed it. You need to close the After Effects if you've installed it and reopen it to actually have it on there. So if you've got that, that's good. So you come down to the left here underneath zoom, right click, new, and press solid. Once you've done that, all you have to do is press OK. So it should say dark grey solid 1. Press OK and make sure the dark grey solid is over the zoom video. Now what you want to do is get your Saber effect that you've just typed up, drag it onto the dark grey solid, and it should come up with a selection box up here. And then what you want to do is go to render settings, make sure the black is changed to transparent, and then goes to customize core. Drop that down and make sure the Saber is on layer masks. So once you've selected that, all you need to do now is get the pen tool up here and mask out the object that you want to zoom through. So I'm choosing the sun, and that's what I'm going to zoom through. So I'm going to do a quick mask on that. So normally if you're doing it, you're going to go around these little houses, go all around the little details, but for this I'm just going to do a straight circle and then a straight line just for the sake of the tutorial. So it's just quick. So I'm going to do that and then I'll come back to you. Right, so once you've done the mask, as you can see, I've done one a bit rough, but it's all right. It will have this default blue outline. So what you can do is go up to the selection box up here and go to the preset, and it will come up with loads of options of what you can choose. There's just so many styles. There's a really cool plugin and it's free, so I'm glad you've got it now, so you can do whatever you want with it. So for this, I'm going to go to something like heat, because it's the sun, obviously. That looks perfect, the orange sun. What you can do, you can change the glow intensities, the glow spread, the size, but for this I'm going to leave it. I think that looks good already. And then obviously it's got an animation to it. I'm going to change that to half. You can sort of see it's got an animation to it, which I think looks really good. So for this, you can change this. You can start the offset, so you can make it appear like that in the video, as you can see. But for this, I don't like doing that. I prefer adding a flash to where the mask comes in, which I'll show you how I'm going to do it. I can't describe it, but once you've done that, all you need to do now is File, Save, close the window, come back to your Premiere Pro, and make sure you render that so it's easy to work with. And then once that's rendered, you can start adding the little inside crop, which I'm going to show you how to do. So the hard bit of the tutorial is over. So as you can see, it's not too hard, but a lot of people don't know about these type of transitions, and these can just make your music videos look so much better. And yeah, they're just really simple. So once this is rendered up, you can have a look. There you go, look, it's got a nice little animation, burning animation, looks really good. So as you can see, that's a bit of a, you know what I mean, it's a bit of a jump from that to that. So what I like to do, I've got a flash preset. There's loads of them. What you have to do is go on YouTube and type in free flash presets for Premiere Pro. Presets, plugins, whatever. So what I'm going to do is add a little cut, say about there. Go to my flash preset. And once I found it, I'm going to drag the flash onto this clip here. And as you can see, it breaks it up a little bit. So it goes from a flash to the sun. So I think that looks good. It just breaks it up a bit. So I'm going to render that. Make sure you're rendering as you go along. And there you go. It has a little flash, and you can see the video stops. It looks really good. So this is how you get the zoom through. So you want to select the part, like the start of where you want to zoom it through. So I'm going to go after the flash. So I've cut it already. So that's where I want the zoom through to start. So what you want to do is go to your effects box, type in crop, select the crop and drag it onto that clip. And then go to the effect controls, and all you need to do now is mask the inside of the saber effect. You don't want to do it on the outside because you won't be able to see the effect. If you do it on the inside, it will come out perfect. So just go around carefully and mask all the inside of the effect. So I'm going to do that now. Right, so as you can see, I've done a little mask. Again, it's a bit rough, but you're going to spend more time on this if it's your own video. So once you've done that, what you want to do is go to the mask you've just created. Make sure you're at the beginning of the clip, and you want to make sure that you go from top. So you can go from left to right, but I always prefer going from top to bottom. I think that looks a little bit better. So what you want to do is keyframe it, select the little icon here. Make sure you've selected that, and then what you want to do is go to 3/4 through this video. I wouldn't go right to the end, I prefer going about there, and move that from 0 to 100 and press render. So it always renders as you go along, so it makes it easy to see. And as you can see, it fades down like that. That looks really cool. It's a nice smooth animation. It goes from a flash straight down, and that's where you're going to zoom through. So we're on the last step here, and I'm going to show you how to zoom through. So a lot of videos I've seen of like pretty big YouTubers doing this have overcomplicated it big time, and there's a real simple step to doing this. Just excuse me, I've got a cold, so I keep doing that. But yeah, they keep overcomplicating it, and they keep doing the scale position and doing, and it never looks right. It looks really rough and jolty. So for this, I found a little trick. All you need to do is go to scale and motion, click motion, and what you can see, you see this little blue icon here. You want to move that to the middle of the mask you've made and the mask you're going to zoom through. So make sure that's in the middle of the mask you've made. Make sure the keyframe on scale is selected, and all you want to do now select the clip, use your little arrow keys. So I'm going to use the right arrow key to go along frame by frame, and once the video starts coming down, once the mask starts coming down, you want to zoom in gradually. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, and it zooms into the little blue circle that you've put there. So I'm going to go again, zoom in a bit, and get about halfway, and then I'm going to zoom further, and just keep going down and zooming in. Keep using the arrow keys, zooming in again, and you can keep doing it. It's trial and error. Keep doing it until you get it right. You can just undo the keyframe and start again, and just check that you think it looks good. So what I'm going to do is make sure you render it, because it always comes out jolty. There you go, that's the perfect transition. That looks a really nice transition. You can do this on any object, any sort of round. You could do it on bodies. It doesn't have to be round or rectangular. It just makes it a little bit easier. But for me, I think that's a great looking transition, and it's used by a lot of big directors. So what you could do, directors, editors, not just directors, but what you can do is you can add your own twist to this. Again, sometimes I add where, say, the little skies would multiply 3 times and then it goes through the transition. You just want to make it your own style. But this is just like a basic sort of transition that you can add your stuff to. So I hope this helped you. I hope this is beneficial to you, and if you liked it, make sure you do click a like, leave a comment, tell me if it helped you or not, and click the notification bell. And I'm going to be back with another tutorial next week. So I might start doing these tutorials weekly if I'm getting enough support and views on them, because I want to see that you're finding them helpful, and then I might start coming back and making some more. So yeah, if you found this helpful, drop a like, and I'm going to leave it here, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'm out.